Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Astarottara Srimad, His Divine Loving Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Astarottara Srimad, His Divine Loving Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Astarottara Srimad Bhaktivinoda Thakur Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Ramacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Gopadana ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Shri Mayapur Dham ki jai. Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai. Bhakti Devi Tulsi Maharani ki jai. Samaveda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thirubhav Titi of Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Om Ajnanaतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, but my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. Therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Ti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, thank you devotees for coming to this morning class. Today we have the great fortune of glorifying a very special personality, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It's his Thirubhav today, the Disappearance Day. And his contribution to Gaudiya Vaishnavism is absolutely legendary. The vision that he had to understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then to make that accessible to the people of this world in a way that people can understand and appreciate such a deep scientific knowledge on God and the understanding of spirituality was unprecedented. It wasn't that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 500 years ago, and at that time he was known not completely in India, mainly South India, because he traveled that part, and definitely in West Bengal, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri. But not everybody could know who he was, although Navadvip was an area of great learning at that time. The best universities to understand the 6 systems of philosophy from the Vedas were all in that area, Nadia, Navadvip area. And he was known as Nimai Pandit. But after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, then because nobody could understand his mood so deeply, because it was so ecstatic, romancha, crying, and hair standing on end, horripilation. These things were, people were starting to duplicate those just for the sake of popularity, not really in actually experiencing these deep ecstatic symptoms. And We know in Chaitanya Charitamrita when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then he understood that he read those symptoms, but he never saw it in anyone before. So the same idea was happening in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's time. There were different Gaudiya sects that were artificially showing these great levels of devotion, but did not have much substance behind it in reality. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was the person who then gave the substance to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya again, because he was born Kedarnath Datta, 2nd September 1838 to 1914 was his time span. And you know 1914, what is commonly known at that year, 1914? Yes, world wars. The First World War finished at that time. Started at that time. First, 1914, the World War started, World War I. So you can understand that such a great personality just leaves, and then, we don't really understand how these great personalities are balancing the spiritual ecosystem of the planet in so many different ways when they present here. So, just like that, so Bhaktivinoda Thakur, born at that time in Bhirnagar. Bhirnagar is a little district town from Mayapur, it's about 40 kilometers or so from Mayapur. The modern day district is called Ranaghat. And it's very near to Shantipur. It's about 3 or 4 kilometers from Shantipur. You know Shantipur? Who is there? Advaita Acharya. Very good. Very, very good. Wow, very good. We just had that celebration about a month back, right? Chiradhoy. Flat Rice and Yogurt Festival. Yes. So this area of Bhirnagar is near there. And just this year in February, ISKCON procured that property in the name of ISKCON to take care of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's birthplace. So it's a very important landmark for ISKCON, as Srila Prabhupada had given in a letter some important points for Mayapur and the neighboring district. And one of the points he mentioned, there's one letter where he mentioned that Bhirnagar, we must try to get that birthplace of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and he wanted a temple to be built there. So Jayapataka Swami Maharaj is the personality who tries to fulfill Prabhupada's orders in that area of India. And he's managed to get Bhaktivinoda Thakur's birthplace. Now they're building a huge temple there because of the books. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote over 100 books. Some of the famous ones, Krishna, Sangita, Chaitanya Shikshamrita, Jaiva Dharma, many, many glorious books that elucidate very deeply and very intellectually the philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and of the Vedas, which in the English language it was not common at that time. You can understand. This is the 1800s we're talking about. So English just landed in India, and he took the post of deputy magistrate. So it was a very exalted post at that time, very, very exalted. For a local Indian person to have that level of post was not an ordinary thing. So they understood the demeanor of this personality and gave him that kind of respect and authority. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we know of the Namahata system, Namahatas. We know of this. So this was the vision of Nityananda Prabhu. Nama Hatha is the local marketplace of the holy name. So he took this and made it into, constructed it, organized it in such a way that it would actually be practical to practice Krishna consciousness in a very high level in your own homes. You must remember, prior to that it was because to study the books, the Sanskrit and all of that, it was only meant for those who lived in the ashram, in the temples. And now he had the vision of packaging it in such a way that even people, grihastas, working people who have family lives, can actually also be very Krishna conscious. And he showed it by his own example. 10 children and very astute children. Lalita Prasad and our famous Bhimal Prasad Datta, who became Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the spiritual master of our beloved Srila Prabhupada. So he not only showed that Krishna consciousness is practical for everyone, that even at home it can be practiced in a very high level. And then he gave the books. So the books made it authentic, that it can be practiced and understood. You don't have to, if you know Sanskrit, it's good. But if you didn't get privilege to study Sanskrit, you can still know the essence of what is possible in this Kali Yuga age at this time. So also, those, how many visited Mayapur? Yes. So Mayapur, the famous place, main place of Mayapur is the Yoga Pit, the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he was the one who used all different kinds of maps, because you know Ganga, when the flood time comes, it's quite adventurous. I was in Mayapur, I think it was 2001, that year, when the flood really came. The water was almost like 3 meters high, and you know, temple room was fully flooded. They were doing Nashinga Puja by boat. Pankajangri Prabhu describes how he jumped on the boat and he goes to Lord Nrsingadev, and around Nrsingadev one cobra was there. And then just when and there's no lights, because water means all the power goes out as well. So he's using the lamp, and he like waded into the water, and then he comes close up to Nrsingadev and he sees saap hai. Yes. And then when he looked, and then Nrsingadev also has humor, you know. He's not only ugra, he also is humor. So the snake just disappeared under the water. Now he's in the water, Nrsingadev is there, snake was there 1 second ago, now where is gone? Then you'll really start chanting, Sudana Mayaga. In that state now, very quickly, Hare Krishna. What a chanting will become. Very pure chanting. Because he saw it in 1 second, next second is gone. And the water is all muddy, and he can go anywhere. He can think my leg is a tree trunk. And then next thing. So Pankajangri Prabhu is saying, in those kind of moments, we really take shelter of the holy name. So, yeah, that flood came, and we know the Ganga changes the course all the time. So nobody knew exactly Kothai Nimai Janambhumi. Where Kothai is Bengali. Where is the birthplace of Nimai? Even up to now, the local people there in the Bangladeshi people and the Muslims who live in Mayapur, when you say Yoga Pit, they will say Nimai Janambhumi. That's how even the auto rickshaw wala. Kotai gelo, where you're going? Nimai Janambhumi. Okay. Then he'll jump it. So that's how, even up to now, they also know that was the birth spot. But it wasn't known for many. Can you imagine, 1838 he was born. Mahaprabhu was 500 years ago. Almost 300 years went by. Nobody knew. And land, those who lived there, they knew it was abandoned land, but they couldn't understand why only tulsi was growing there. Nothing else will grow. And Bengali people, at least Bengan, you know Bengan? Eggplant, brinjal. At least brinjal will grow. So because Bengan you can make very nice pakora. You just cut and put, anyway, half day fast today. Hare Krishna. But in Chaitanya Charitamrita, these recipes are given. So very simple pakora. You cut the brinjal and put mustard oil and put on the tawa. This is famous Bengali. They call it Bengan Bhaja. It's pakora, very quick pakora. So in every house in Mayapur area, local people, they'll have brinjal. But this plot of land was only tulsi was growing there. So in Bhaktivinoda Thakur, using the maps and everything and how the Ganga changed and his influence, he managed to come to this point. And when he came there, he realized that by the maps, he found that this was the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then he brought Jagannath Das Babaji to confirm. And by that time, Babaji was so old, he was being carried in a basket. And when he came there, then this is the Janambhumi, Nimai Janambhumi, jumped out of the basket in excitement. He realized, then that confirmed to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, not only on the maps, but spiritual confirmation as well, that this is the birthplace. So that was not always there. It was Bhaktivinoda Thakur who found this. And the local people will say that when he did the collection for the Yogapith temple, then he only asked 1 rupee from each person. Ek thaka. In Mayapur, in Bengali it's called thaka. In Vrindavan it's called rupee. So ek thaka, only 1 rupee from each household, because he wanted everybody to get the blessing of being part of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace. So he collected in that way and he built this yoga pit, the birthplace, under the neem tree, Nimai. That neem tree is still there now. Recently I see that they built a little wall up, surrounded it, and then people started digging out the soil. So then they stopped that also now, because that's going to be so difficult to get that soil. Jai Shri Radha Radhanath ki Jai, Sriman Mahaprabhu ki Jai. So rare to get that Janam soil from Mahaprabhu's birthplace. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was instrumental in this. So this Namahata, I was saying, this is his vision of how to distribute the holy name in the marketplace to each and every one by creating this, organizing the Namahata system. So his vision was that. And at that time, there were different congregations like that. So the congregational preaching originally came from Nityananda Prabhu, and now Bhaktivinoda Thakur was making it formal in a way that people can respect and follow very simply and nicely the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Then his book, speaking of teachings of Lord Chaitanya, that book is the summary of whole of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he took that and he translated into English, and he sent it to the West, to Canada, McGill's University, and also to philosophers of that time. So he wanted people to know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching was not just a sentimental teaching. One of the ways they would describe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the epileptic saint. Epileptic saint, which means he would have fits of convulsion when he would go into ecstasy. So, but because they didn't understand the deep philosophy behind it, that's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur's contribution was. He made it because of his stature as a deputy magistrate at that time. Even if you go to his house in Mayapur, actually it's in Godram Dweep, so you have to go to Ulur Ghat and you pay 2 rupees and the boat will take you across the Jalangi. If you go right, you go to Navadip. You go left, you go to Godram Dweep. And if you from Godram Dweep, about 1.5 kilometers from there is his house, Svananda Sukanda Kunj. And it is from that house that he saw across the Jalangi river, he saw the TOVP that we have today. He was the first one who had that vision to see that place. Actually, Nityananda Prabhu showed Jiva Goswami that in Navadip Mahatmya is described how when they were doing parikram, then he said this place here it will become a huge temple of Gauranga will be built on this land. And it was just in the books, but nobody, it was written, but really for something like that to manifest, as you can see, what a great offering of devotion it has become now. Millions and millions of US dollars it's costing to complete the project. And part by part, hopefully, next 2027, it will be ready. They're planning almost a 4 to 5 month festival from Kartik right up to Gaur Purnima, so that everybody can get a chance to see this Adbhuta Mandir, amazing, astonishing temple. Many temples are there in India, many. But which one is called Adbhuta Mandir? Which one is called the astonishing, amazing temple? This temple is named that. So, so he's started that project. He built the yoga pit and established Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he's done that now to establish him philosophically. So he started writing all these deep books, Devadharma and Krishna Samhita, Chaitanya Shikshastikam, all these really to explain that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not just an epileptic saint. It's not just somebody who is just showing symptoms of ecstasy without any deep foundation behind it. The very deep science of bhakti is behind it. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was that one who established that, and then his son came after that, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and he took the teachings further, created 64 Gaudiya Maths, and also became a well-renowned scholar of the Gaudiya tradition, and was given that title, Siddhanta Saraswati. Very greatest scholar of his time. And then he inspired Srila Prabhupada, our Srila Prabhupada, to now take this message. Now that Mahaprabhu's message is ready and respected in India, now it's ready to go internationally. International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So I was saying, one devotee gave a class in Mayapur, and he was mentioning this title, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He says Prabhupada was so efficient that even in that, even if you just chant that name, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, Chaitanya's name is there as well. And then he showed how that International Society for Krishna, and then after that consciousness, C-O-N we have, right? So that consciousness in Sanskrit is Chaitana. Chaitana. To be consciousness in Sanskrit is Chaitana. So Krishna consciousness is Krishna Chaitanya. And who is Krishna Chaitanya? Is Mahaprabhu. So just saying International Society for Krishna Consciousness, they get the benefit of chanting the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just see Prabhupada's beautiful vision and deep insight into using modern day concepts and terms, because he was told, why don't you just make it God consciousness? He was advised. He said, no, Krishna consciousness. And he knew what he was doing by doing that. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur established the authenticity and the deep foundational philosophy of the Gaudiya tradition, and Prabhupada took that now and brought it to the West. And from that, he's written also 70 odd books in his time, and so many books are now available. I even heard recently, Radharaman Prabhu, the book distribution department here of this temple, was telling me that the books are also being sold at exclusive books now. They have an order at exclusive books. Who would have thought that? In our days, when I joined in Cape Town, book distribution was a big thing at that time. Our temple there at Rondebosch was a book distribution temple at that time. We had 27, 28 devotees, all young, full of energy, and all book distributors. Full Sankirtan book distribution temple. And some of the senior devotees from here were there at that time. Her Grace Nikunja Mataji was there. Her Grace Rasastali Mataji was there. Prema Sarova Mataji was there. Her Grace Nandarani Mataji was there at that time. So that was a very special mood of Cape Town at that time for book distribution. So over the years now it was becoming more difficult, traveling Sankirtan and all of that. But it's so nice to hear now that exclusive books and reputed book distributors in the country are appreciating Prabhupada's books to the point that they are selling it. They're willing to take it for sale. And that is really amazing. And that's also a sign, Prabhupada, as it's difficult to speak about Bhaktivinoda Thakur without understanding Prabhupada's contribution in that, because it's a whole three-level system that Gauranga Mahaprabhu has established. First Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, and then A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And then his followers who are doing the work all over the planet now. So, to appreciate this point that their books will be sold, try to understand Prabhupada's vision of 10,000 years. This is a very, very deep point, that ISKCON will go for 10,000 years. We're not even 1,000 years yet. We just finished 50 years. We just finished 50 only. And what to speak of a vision of 10,000 years? Even Krishna was only 5,000 years. Try to understand Prabhupada's vision on this. What a great vision it is. So it's a really truly inspiring to see that educational facilities and book distributors like Exclusive Books and others, they are appreciating the value of this kind of knowledge now, and that people are looking for this kind of books, that they're wanting this kind of help. So we'll conclude on one it's a deep point, it's an esoteric point, but this gives you an idea of the personality we're discussing today. But we'll just mention it for the value of appreciating such a personality. So in his bhajan, he was a very deep person. And although writing all the books as well, he also was a very realized soul. So he was not just a philosopher. He realized the philosophy to the point where he was experiencing it. And in his spiritual form, he's known as Kamala Manjari, a very great servitor within the inner circle of the gopis of Vrindavan. They serve the personal gopis, and then those serve Srimati Radharani. So in that, I'm mentioning these points because his worship, his deities, so there in Godram Dweep in Mayapur, his house is still there, and on his altar there, we have the deities of his personal worship, which is Gaur Gadadhar. And it's a very, very deep esoteric aspect of our Gaudiya Siddhanta. As we know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to experience this form of separation from Krishna. So, in the Adi Leela, chapter 4, text number 55 in Adi Leela, it's described, Radha Krishna Vrikriti Aladini Shakti Rasmat. Ek Atma Vapi Bhuvi Pura Deha Deham Gatoto Chaitanyakyam Prakatam Adhunna Tattvayam Chaikyam Aptam Radha Bhava Dutisuvalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. So this slok comes there. And what is it describing? It's describing this aspect of who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Radha Krishna Vrikriti Ladini Shakti Rasmat. That Radharani is the internal energy of Krishna. Very personal. They're actually one, but they separated to experience this love. Krishna wanted to know what is this love that Radharani has. So they ek atma, they one soul, but they had to separate so that he can experience. And this is Chaitanya. Chaitanyakam prakatam tvadunya tatdvayam chaityam apyam Radha Bhav. So what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Bhava Sudvalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. It is Krishna but in the mood of Radharani, Radha Bhav. So not only that, Duti Suvalitam, he also has the complexion of Radharani. So two aspects, the inner mood of Radharani and the complexion of Radharani. So this verse describes that. So these deities of Bhaktivinoda Thakur is in this kind of high, very exalted level of understanding, just to show how Gaudiya Vaishnavism is so esoteric in its understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he was worshipping then Gaur Gadadhar. So we know Gaura, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Gadadhar Pandit. In Gauradesh Ganadipika, it's described that this Gadadhar Pandit is non-different from Srimati Radharani. So it's Gaur and Gadadhar. It's Radha and Krishna. But this is such a esoteric point. We'll just mention it and you can meditate on it. So if Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not, it's Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. It's non-different from Radha and Krishna. But that Radharani is also, if you check in the revealed scripture, Radharani there is only the duti and the bhav, the inner mood and the complexion. The rest of Radharani, what happened to that? That rest of Radharani is Gadadhar Pandit. It's Radharani who's been, the mood has been taken out and the complexion has been taken out. If you take the mood away from Radharani and you take the complexion away, then what is left is Gadadhar Pandit. And those two features is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So see how deep it becomes. That Chaitanya is not just Radharani experiencing Krishna. It's very specifically describing, it's the mood aspect of Radharani and it's the complexion aspect of Radharani. These two parts are what Chaitanya is. And the rest of Radharani that was not taken away by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Gadadhar Pandit. So see how esoteric level of understanding somebody like Bhaktivinoda Thakur is sharing with the world. So he worshipped those deities. So in Yoga Pit, I'm mentioning this because of the deities of Gaur Gadadhar. So in Yoga Pit, this temple is there. There's a Lakshmi Narasimha temple If you walk past the Sachi Mata deity and you come past the hall, there's a tree there, the neem tree. You walk around that and come to the back is where this temple is, where the form Lakshmi Narasimha temple is there and Gaur Garadhar. But these are the replica. The original deities are in Godram Deep. Same deities, Gaur Garadhar, but it's in Godram Deep at Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house. So every day, if you go there at midday, there is a very amazing, you know how the Bengali devotees, their voices to sing is really, just like I was coming up today and our Ravendra Prabhu was leading Jai Radha Madhava, and his voice is just amazing. So just like that, Bengali people have that traditional Bengali voice. That cry for Krishna is built into the larynx here. They just have that cry for Krishna. It's just natural. They say two things is natural. We tease the Bengali. A little bit teasing is okay, yeah? We tease the Bengali devotees that your voice, that cry for Krishna is built into the voice, and Bengalis always have that sound. What sound? Sound, yeah. Krishna, like that. In UP they'll say Krishna, but in Bengali they'll say Krishna, that sound. So they say you can only have that sound if you're born with rasgulla in the mouth. Yeah, because Bengali people are very famous for, they like rasgulla. Both very, very happy to give them rasgullas. So that too is natural. So if you go there at Godram Deep, midday Aarti there, even the Aarti song we sing is by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Gora Aarti song, also Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So many bhajans and songs he's written, where he's taken the philosophy and made it into bhajans, so that we can, those where the ras is there. Philosophy alone is intellectual, but the taste of Krishna is in the bhajans, because the devotees' bhav is coming there. The mood is coming through the bhajans, in the different ways in which they sing, in which ways in which they pray. So in Mayapur, in Godram Dweep, every day at the midday Aarti, there's one Prabhuji that comes there. He's a local person, and he sings the Gora Aarti song there. No instruments, no kartal, no khol, no mridanga. But the sound of his voice alone, ashru, tears will start coming. It's so moving to hear that person who is in his own bhasha, in his own language, he's singing a bhajan as a devotee as well. So his own language and a devotee, and he's singing it in that way. It's a very deep experience when you meet people like that. So Godram Dweep, this is the place of Bhaktivinoda Thakur Day. So many aspects of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So we'll conclude on this one point, that he, from his balcony, he saw across the Jalangi, he saw this Adbhuta Mandir manifesting. And Prabhupada's disciples have taken that from his mouth, that he wanted this amazing temple to be built here. And it was when I lived in Mayapur for 2 years at first, 2002 to 2004, and then Panchatattva manifested. So at that time, that area where the temple now is built was just Govinda's restaurant, and we had the Hati Shala for the elephant on the side. And nobody would have thought that this is the place going to be the sacred land. This is the place where the temple is going to come. But due to government restrictions and so many different things, gradually the plan of Mayapur started to unfold. This Adbhut, amazing temple started to actually manifest from thought to written plans, drafted plans, and then the building started. 20 years later almost, the building then started to manifest. And they had to build it in such a way that it becomes Ganga proof, Otherwise, when the flood comes, so those pillars, and in the early days, when they were building the foundation, so many levels of it, then they had that machine that was going 24 hours mixing out concrete, cement. And Prabhupada would comment, when he would hear construction going on for the temples, that this is also like kirtan, because it's showing that the temple is progressing and developing. So I was there at that time when that foundation was being built, and I saw those machines 24 hours out, giving out concrete for the foundation, thick concrete foundations. And Prabhupada's recently they opened the Nashingadev's wing. You've seen that? Nashingadev's wing. And then recently also Prabhupada's Legacy Museum. We'll speak more about that on Sunday. The amazing museum they have there of Prabhupada. So many things have come from this one personality, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. His vision and his son's vision, and then Srila Prabhupada absorbing both of their visions, is really an amazing offering to the world. So today, and then he also lived in Jagannath Puri, because 2 days from now, what's happening in India? Rath Yatra ki jai, Jagannath Swami ki, Jagannath Bhakta, Jagannath Swami ki jai. So 2 days from now, so from today the preparations will start, means the chariots are ready. I was there just 3 weeks ago, and the chariots were just about, only the chassis and the wheels were ready. The upper part was not ready. But I managed to see those chariots. In Bombay, Prabhupada offered obeisance to the chariots of Jagannath, because he said, these chariots were carrying the Lord of the universe. They are worthy of my obeisance. So in that mood, I also offered my pranam, although Jagannath didn't sit yet, but chariot was ready, Lamborghini, Jagannath's Lamborghini, yes. So the festival of that will start, and the preparations for that, and then how they bring Jagannath out, it's just amazing. So I managed only one time to visit the actual Rath Yatra in Puri, because it's so chaotic and busy and so much of crowd, and it's hot in India. We're feeling cold now here, but in India right now it's very, very hot. It's summer getting into monsoon, so it's heat with humidity. Very difficult to tolerate that. So, and then they'll right on the same Grand Road there is a fire station as well. So they will come out with the fire trucks, and they'll open the fire hose into the air, and they'll cool the place down, which is nice. But then within a few minutes, what happens? The sun is so strong, it starts getting hot again. So that heat is even more, but they have to do something to cool because people just collapse. They just faint. It's so hot and crowded. So that will be happening, Jagannath's festival. So it's nice to meditate on Jagannath Puri now. Not only on the prasadam part, but the chariots, how Jagannath will come out, and each chariot, and how the pandas will bring out the big kirtan. Really, I think you can even see it live. So keep that as a meditation. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house is on the Grand Road there. That's where that garland fell from Jagannath, and his wife received that garland, that this is for your son. Jagannath has given this for Bhakti Siddhanta, Bimal Prasad Datta. So many glorious pastimes are there. We know that if you saw the Abhay Charan series, then that story comes of that tantric person who was trying to cheating and doing all nonsense. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur sorted him out just by reading Bhagavatam there under the tree. So many things like this. I think Maharaj is here today, His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj. So he will also speak at lunchtime. So we'll stop here. Sachidanandan Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. So let's just end with the pranam prayer for Bhaktivinoda Thakur, right? So please repeat after me. Namaho Bhaktivinodaya Sachidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate. So in Vrindavan, in Pushpanjali we do that as well, but in Vrindavan, when we're doing puja, then especially on Gaurnitai altar, we chant the whole Pushpanjali. So this is the one for Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So because we have Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta on Gaurnitai altar in Vrindavan. So that is a separate puja done, Guru Puja, for those two deities of Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta. So in that now we chant the Guru Parampara pranams. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur comes there. And this mantra is saying that we offer our obeisance to you, Sachidananda Namine. This is his name as well, Sachidananda Bhaktivinod. And Gaura Shakti Swarupaya, you are an embodiment of the power of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Rupanuga Varayate, and you are following in the footsteps of Rupa and Sanatan, the Goswamis of Vrindavan. So he's a really exalted personality, and today his mercy is available to all of us. If we take shelter, pray to him, remember Godram Dweep in Mayapur, and Sunanda Sukanda Kunj in Radha Kund also is there. And by remembering him, and his mercy will become available to us on this day. So if we can get his blessings to continue our preaching and whatever we lack in our devotional service, then great personalities like this can complete that for us, especially on these days of their appearance and disappearance days. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So, any comments from anyone? Anybody would like to share something? Okay. So, is there a program today? Maharaj will do a program today? A midday program? Yeah? Yes, and then, yeah. All right. So thank you for your time, devotees. Please keep this as a meditation today, and may you enjoy your day in devotional service to Radha Radhanath. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Bol.